This is my proposal for a bookstore in Grand Rapids called Rapid Books. Rapid Books is a buy and sell bookstore offering new and secondhand books for buyers. The residents of Westside Connections, which is the west side of Grand Rapids, most are mainly retired scholars and families, so this location will be more accessible to its elderly residents and children of the many nearby schools, where we will aim to create loyal and frequent visitors. Rapid Books would like to expand our enterprise further west of Grand Rapids. This quiet and slow living community is a great location for our bookstore. We would like to provide and support more community spaces, offering our services and promote economic growth in this area. So the main problem is the lack of a lot of infrastructure in this suburban area. Located near Highlands Park, which is right above, there are 5 churches, 6 schools, and a retirement home in the area. This neighborhood has a large community that I will propose a bookstore could be a great benefit to. This new building would be located on the intersection of Oakley Ave and Leonard Street. That blue dot is a representation of the proposed area, and then this map shows the parks outlined, which you can see right above the bookstore would be that big Highland Park up there, which is just a great area to have a bookstore in. In the western part of Grand Rapids, which is where this neighborhood lies. It's a quiet, tight-knit suburban community. It's a dense neighborhood in the sense of the suburbia, but it has little to no business or economic infrastructure, which kind of creates a more isolating experience in that area, considering the predominance of elderly residents and children from the schools nearby. This creates like an unwalkable area, and a bookstore would be a great starting step to create a more walkable and community-oriented neighborhood. Figure 2 shows the density of age across Grand Rapids. So you can see in the heart of Grand Rapids, it's a lot of younger individuals represented by those yellow dots, and then the more opaque they are, the strength of that predominance. And then towards the west of that graph, you can see the blue represents those elderly individuals that are 65 and over. So kind of going into the background, residents have complained about the lack of attractions that are nearby, because the only way that they're able to really enjoy those attractions are if they go into the city, where parking prices, if there are any, are high. As I kind of mentioned in the last slide, suburbs kind of bring up challenges with accessibility, walkability, and that lack of social interaction. In figure 3, you can see the proposed plot area. It's kind of, it would be the only business around that area, which I think is why a bookstore would be a great introduction for this business area. This new location would offer residents that walkability, where they can still enjoy their slow life of suburbia while also being able to engage with the community. This development would also offer closer jobs as well, and the need to reduce that far commuting time, which a lot of residents do kind of go into the city where they work. Figure 4 shows the nearest local business, which is kind of down the road. It's just like a little donut shop right along that highway there. So there's really not much else around that area. So for our project goals, we wanted to obviously bring that economic and social benefit. And the benefit of this being a bookstore is that it would also promote reading and education for those local schools, retired retired professionals that maybe are looking for more leisurely activities, and it's just a great outlet for all ages. I wanted to introduce our company to this location because not only would it align with the current structure of this community, you like that slower paced living, but also bring value, like economic value and community to this kind of isolated suburb. So for my methodology, I was seeking demographic data and nearby businesses for this area, which I obtained through the U.S. Census. I used Google Maps, and I also looked through local news outlets, which provided me with residents' frustrations of the area. The SLO community has little to no attractions, where residents' only access is going into that city. So my methods showed that the West Side kind of has a higher population of residents, and that along with this suburbia, it's also very car driven and highway heavy. So a lot of residents are already using cars, but it would be a great step in the right direction to make it a little bit more walkable. So we found so my findings would optimally show my employees that there is benefit in this farther out community from like the main heart of Grand Rapids. Looking at the demographics and the current residential land use, this area has all of the qualities that I think would set up success for our bookstore. And also the potential for customer loyalty due to this convenience and accessibility. The residents are more likely to stop into our bookstore than to a farther out one because of proximity. So I learned how to insert data from the U.S. Census and how to spatially analyze a community for possible benefits, including economic, social, and individual. And this course kind of helped me prepare to use GIS in a lot of other applications. Because my major is environmental studies, I assess spatial data a lot, so having these tools to map them is going to be very valuable for me to use in the future.